Shame doesn't shout. It whispers, "You're not enough. You're too much." If they really knew you, they'd leave. Shame is not just guilt about what you did. It's the belief that who you are is unlovable, and the tragedy is, the more you believe it, the more you hide. And the more you hide, the more disconnected you feel. Intimacy sounds beautiful, closeness, honesty, connection. But for someone carrying shame, intimacy can feel terrifying, because to be intimate is to be seen, to be exposed, vulnerable, emotionally naked. And if you've been hurt before, if your deepest self was once rejected, even safe love can feel dangerous. Shame doesn't always look like someone crying in a corner. Sometimes it looks like sarcasm, anger, withdrawal, perfectionism, or silence. Shame dresses itself as protection, but it actually builds walls between us and the ones who love us. When you keep saying, "I'm fine," when you push people away, when you avoid eye contact or change the subject, it might not be coldness, it might be shame, quietly asking you to hide. Sometimes the breakdown happens before anything is said. You walk into a room and suddenly you feel small. Your body braces, your heart closes, and your voice disappears. Not because anyone hurt you today, but because your nervous system remembers what it was like to feel exposed. And so you disappear to protect yourself. When shame is present, closeness feels threatening, so we disconnect. We change the subject. We make a joke. We talk about everything except what's real. We think we're protecting the relationship, but really we're protecting ourselves from being seen. And in the process, we lose the intimacy we long for most. Shame says, "Be perfect, then you'll be lovable. Fix yourself, then you'll be enough. Hide your flaws, then you'll be accepted." But intimacy isn't built on perfection. It's built on presence, on honesty, on shared humanness. You don't have to be flawless to be worthy of love. You just have to be real. Healing begins when you name what you hide. "I'm afraid you'll leave if you really see me. Sometimes I shut down when I feel small. I don't always know how to be close, but I want to try." These are the moments where shame starts to lose its power, because the truth is this: connection grows where shame is named. Intimacy begins where honesty lives. Not just facts, but feelings. Not just what happened, but how it made you feel. I felt invisible. I felt shame says you need to be perfect to be loved. You have to prove yourself. Hide what's messy, show only what shines. But real love doesn't ask for performance. It asks for presence. It asks for honesty. It asks for you, the whole you. You might think, if I share this, they'll leave. If I'm too much, they'll pull away. But the truth is, vulnerability builds trust. Every time you let someone see the parts of you that don't feel lovable, and they stay, the shame loses its grip, and love takes root in its place. You learn to hide because once being seen meant being hurt. But you're not in that place anymore. You are not that child. You are not that powerless. Today, you can choose differently. You can speak. You can show up. And you can be safe, even while being fully seen. The hardest thing about intimacy is opening the door when you feel like you don't deserve love. But love isn't something we earn. It's something we receive with open hands and trembling hearts. You don't have to be flawless to be held. You just have to be honest about the parts you once tried to hide. Shame tells you to run, to shut down, to distract yourself. But healing happens when you stay present. When you say, I feel shame right now, but I'm not leaving. I want to hide, but I'm going to stay. This is what builds safe relationships, not perfection, but presence. You were not made to carry shame. You were made for connection. Love should not be a place where you shrink to be accepted. It should be a space where you can expand, breathe, and be fully seen. You deserve love that welcomes the whole of you, even the parts still healing. Thank you for being here for episode 8. We've explored how shame shapes the way we love, how it distances us from others, and how naming it is the first step to healing. In episode 9, we'll talk about emotional needs and unmet expectations, how hidden longings often fuel the same arguments, and how learning to name your needs can lead to deeper peace and understanding. Until then, be gentle with your shame, and remember you are still lovable, even when you don't feel like it.